Good morning, Writing 394. This is Professor Anderson with hopefully some understanding of what's going on with feedback. First of all, mea culpa. I apologize. Please be patient as I try to figure out what this error is. I'm not exactly certain. Let me show you what I do and how I upload these. The dilemma that I'm facing is it's working for some and not for others. And it appears that all of the screencasts for these announcements are working. So sometimes this method, this particular website that I'm using to screencast is working in some areas and not in others. And it doesn't really seem to be an even balance of, aha, this is why it's not working here. So when I'm going to go into an older class, one that I taught before, and I want to show you where you will see your assignments. This is my view. You can see I have a couple extra buttons up here. I also have the ability to view as a learner, so this should be what your view looks like. Unfortunately, I have been trying to upload an assignment as myself to give some feedback to show you exactly where it would be located, but I can't do that. Once I submit it, it automatically, as soon as I turn back into the professor, it deletes the paper that I've submitted. So I have to try another way. So if I go back into a class that I taught a little while ago, and I'm going to pull up, this is not your section, this is a different section. I'm going to pull up assignments. And this is what I see. This is how I can tell who submitted what and when. And so if I go into communication inhibitors, and I'm going to real quickly pull up this first paper and share with you where it would be located. So let me switch out of here. So this is my student's first paper, and this is the sidebar where you'll see at the bottom feedback. And inside of that feedback, I've given a hyperlink to the screencast. So this is where you should find the screencast or your feedback for writing assignment number 1 and all writing assignments. And again, every submission that you have, I submit a screencast of feedback for. So I don't understand why it's not working. For those of you that have emailed me to share that you've not received the feedback, I will type feedback on your paper and then submit that back to you so you'll have some hard copy to be able to reference. For those of you that have chosen, like, okay, I've got it, I've got the feedback, I'm ready to proceed, you'll need to resubmit your assignment. Let me go into here. I'm just going to go back to submissions. And you'll notice how this student has 2 assignments. This is one that was the rough draft and one that was the final assignment. So you want to just resubmit it into that folder. I can see the date of each when they were submitted, so I know which one is the final draft. So then if you've received your feedback and you'd like to just get this over with and move forward, please submit your final draft into the assignment folder. And underneath you have a section where you can leave some comments, say, Professor Anderson, this is where this is my final copy. I'd like for this to be evaluated. For those of you that have not received feedback yet or cannot open it, or the video says it's a duplicate, I can't figure out why it's doing that. Please don't panic. It's my fault. It's user error on my end. If I can't provide feedback, I take full responsibility for that. Let me send me a quick email again. Those of you that I've heard from, I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to do this. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is send you a hard copy typed. And that way you'll have some feedback, and please resubmit your final copy for writing assignment number 1 by Wednesday. No one will be counted as late for any of these assignments for writing assignment number 1. And there's been a question about due dates and being a little bit confused. Let me share with you how these submission folders are. So they're all electronic, and this is the envelope that I received them in. So if I have this is assignment number 1 and see the due date is January 20th. That was the end of week 1. And that was when the rough draft was due. In order for me to, we have a late policy for let me back up. Every writing assignment is required a rough draft. each rough draft is given a grace period of 4 days. In order for me to be able to effectively evaluate the grace period, I have to open this folder, this electronic folder, on the due date of the rough draft. The final draft is due at a later date. And though it says in the folder when you've submitted it, late by 1 day, late by 6 days, the first draft, the rough draft, is what I need to look for in terms of the late assignment. As you can tell, this final draft, I'm extending the deadline for those that have not received any feedback or for those that would like additional time. I understand this is my fault. So the due date needs to be set for the very first draft, the rough draft of each of these assignments. And that way we can calculate from there how and when each of the assignments are due. I hope that that helped to explain the system of how these of how the folder dates work and why you're seeing late. It is not late. I email you to say, if you've not received an email from me to say, hey, Sally, I haven't heard from you and I don't have any of your assignments. Is everything okay? Then you're all good. So I hope that that has cleared up a little bit of anxiety for some of you. And again, mea culpa, I apologize for these screencasts and technical difficulties. I'm working diligently to try to figure out a new way to be able to give you personal, individualized video conference feedback. And so far I haven't found one, but I'm still working.